you're still watching TVC Breakfast, and I might just put it out there. Oh, how I love this show. Thank you so much for riding with us. But it's time for Trending now. And you know who is standing by, the only lady that will give us all the accurate information, looking really beautiful in that black and white. Good morning,
Thank you, love. You know, you clean up good yourself. I have to say, I know I love my job as well, Ria, because when I'm on standby, I'm ready to give it up. Shall we see what everyone's talking about this morning? Let's dive right in. Good morning, Nigeria. Like I always say, TVC has our finger on the pulse and our eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I do our best. And it's our absolute pleasure every day, Monday to Friday, to bring you all the trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with some politics, where the Kogi State Governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo, has publicly acknowledged the existence of influential power blocks, often referred to as cabals, within his administration. Now, the governor made this remark while referencing a statement attributed to his predecessor, former Kogi State Governor Alhaji Yahaya Bello. And according to Governor Ododo, the former governor had openly stated that he had a cabal, adding that the leader of that group, approved by him, is a woman called Hajia Dr. Habiba Tijani Aliyu. Now, this statement has drawn public attention as it suggests the involvement of unelected individuals in governance and internal decision-making processes. Very interesting. That word cabal in Nigeria, we know, has a very negative connotation. But let's see what you had to say about this on social media. Timmy says, bad roads within and across Kogi State, poorer security system where kidnapping is the order of the day. Your cabal, they walk, oh. White Raven says, every government has people who call the shots behind the scenes, as long as they are doing it in the best interest of the people and in line with democratic principles and tenets. Indeed, a cabal doesn't have to be a bad word. Oshare says, a governor throwing the word cabal in a democratic setting is wild, and people's parents are clapping. One who even shouted capacity. I'm livid. Very, very interesting development. Now, we didn't play the video because of production quality wasn't so great, but essentially what he said is that I have a cabal. This is the woman leading my cabal. Now, I don't think Mr. Shomi that he meant that in a bad way. I think he just meant his clique, the people that are supporting his government. But it does raise the dilemma that we have in Nigeria sometimes. You know, actually elected government officials who are actually being controlled or influenced by non-democratic actors.
Yeah,
there's no doubt when you talk about cabal, you begin to ask yourself, if Abia is the cabal, what about Yahaya Bello himself, who in any case midwife Usman Ododo's regime? So for me, I think he's actually referring to something else, which is they have a very highly influential person that people need to clear some things with before it gets to Usman Ododo.
For me, I don't know if people will come for me, but for months I've been wondering who is really the governor. Is it Yahaya Bello Ododo? Because I do not understand. You know, as a governor, you're supposed to have the mind of your own. So even if we all know that cabals exist, but are you just taking all the information from the cabal? Do you have a mind of your own? Are you just a person that they put there, they tell you what to do? And when you talk about Kogi and the politics in Kogi, I don't want to go deep into it because I still don't know who exactly is the acting governor of Kogi between Yahaya Bello and Ododo.
It's a two-in-one.
It's a collabo.
Cabals actually exist in all facets of our lives. You know, you have people that you kowtow to, you have people that you take advice from. So it could be an unofficial advisory council. You know that there are cabals even behind Trump. There are some people that Trump listens to. For instance, you know, he listens to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to the extent that people even think Israel is running the affairs in the U.S. Don't let us even go there. So, but one thing is, we should be the cabals. We should be, the electorate. We should be the cabals by always demanding good governance, demanding transparency, demanding anything, because without us, the cabals are very powerless. And that's the reality. If we stand our ground that this is what we want, we'll get it regardless. And
a governor should stand alone. A governor should be able to make his own decisions. Of course, you cannot work alone, but you're also not a person that you're just listening to other people. You should have your own mind. You should have a mind of your own. The people didn't vote the other people. They voted you.
I think when we put it in the context of Nigeria, cabals have inherently a negative connotation. They haven't, a lot of times, they've influenced godfatherism and other all sorts of political thuggery. And I think that's why this statement linguistically is so inflammatory. Maria has a question. Who is the governor of Kogi State?
I want to know, please.
No, you can't ask that question because it is very obvious that it's Usman.
Absolutely. Just a bit of humor this morning, Ibrahim. Moving on to some better news. Abia State has made history with the launch of 20 electric mass transit buses, officially introducing the Abia Green Shuttle service and becoming Nigeria's first state to deploy electric buses for commercial intrastate transport. Now, these buses were commissioned by World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, as Governor Alex Otti described the initiative as a step towards a zero-emission future. Governor Alex Otti has said that these buses can travel between 400 and 450 kilometers on a full charge, and they're disability friendly, and they'll offer free rides, get this, from December through early January 2026 on selected routes. Each bus is also fitted with security cameras to enhance passenger safety. Have a look at this video.
We'll be launching the first set of green buses, electric vehicles for public transport. There are 20 of them, another 80 is on the way. Tomorrow until sometime in January, it will be free shuttle across the state.
With Abia showing us what is possible, the question now is, who is next and how fast can Nigeria move towards cleaner, smarter cities? This is commendable, and we must give credit to where credit is due. I mean, free transport from December to January, that is commendable, sir. Let's have a look at social media. I'll take 2 tweets. Chidube Davidson Enwere says, public transit doesn't mean free. Why place extra burden on the state for maintenance when the commuters could be paying for that? Plus all salaries with only minimal overhead for the government? Francisco Brainiac says, this is how a country should work. This is how a governor should operate, with love for the people and developmental projects. What I find interesting about this is not only is Governor Alex Otti setting a benchmark right now for how all governors should think and act, but he's setting an environmentally friendly benchmark. These buses are green, they're electric. This is what we talk about when we talk about, you know, a state being autonomous. I'm so impressed. Mr. Shomi.
Oh, I don't know how that's going to work in Nigeria of today. Where will you get the electricity from to power it? Are you going to have dedicated generators, you know, strictly to power 20 buses at a high cost? So eventually, when it comes down to economics, some people begin to ask questions around it. It's a good idea to be environmentally friendly, yes, no doubt. It's a good idea to go green, yes. But are we really ready for it? Do we have the infrastructure to back it up?
Good idea, but can it stand the test of time? That's all I will speak on, because it's a fantastic initiative. But oftentimes we see things like this, and because we're not able to maintain it, you know, what's the long-term plan for it? I see that there are going to be free rides from December to January. After that, what's the plan? You know, it's not just about bringing up a good initiative. It's also about, you know, let's see the longevity of it. But we cannot take it away from Governor Alex Otti. He's been doing a fantastic job. We see that he's always, you know, thinking about how to make the lives of the people in Abia better. And a lot of governors can pick up from this, but we also need to know if this is something that can really last.
It's highly sustainable. EVs actually can last for more than 15 years. That's the lifespan for EVs. And international communities are already adopting EVs for greener, safer environment, eco-friendly, buses. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum had also launched different buses and cars. Even in Lagos State, you see hundreds of electric vehicles, running on the streets of Lagos. So let's start from somewhere. The infrastructure, I believe that anyone who is bringing that, who is introducing that, will definitely, put the infrastructure in place. So let's see how it goes. But I'm happy with the EV.
Absolutely. These are very pertinent questions. But I believe that the question that we should be asking is not, is this sustainable? The question we should be asking is, how can we sustain this? Because this is what the future of Nigeria looks like. Thank you so much for your input. Moving on in the world of social media, following the release of actress Doris Ogala, social media personality Very Dark Man We Know gave the authorities an ultimatum of 72 hours to release her. A woman now identified as Chi Okafor, who claims to be the daughter of the Lagos-based cleric and founder of Liberation City, Pastor Chris Okafor, has now made a public statement describing her reaction whenever she sees her father cleric preaching. She made the remark during a conversation with Very Dark Man. She prepares to make public what she described as revelations about her relationship with her father. And according to her, God is truly merciful, because whenever she sees her father, Pastor Chris, preaching at the altar, it shocks her that God allows that. Have a look at this video.
My name is Chi Okafor, the daughter of Pastor Chris Okafor, the founder of Liberation City, Ododo Becca. God is really merciful. God is a merciful God. Because when I see him still climbing on that altar to preach, considering the things that he does to us, his daughters, before and after he climbs the altar.
Now, of course, this statement has since generated widespread attention on social media, particularly as Chi Okafor indicated that she intends to disclose and reveal further details and alleged secrets about her cleric father. As at the time of this report, Pastor Chris Okafor has still not publicly responded to the claims by his daughter, and the allegations remain unverified. It's important to note that. But let's have a look at social media. MasterChef says this is yet another child of another Nigerian pastor coming out to expose the atrocities of their fathers. But some Nigerians will think their own pastors are somehow different. Shad Fresh had this to say. He says, I hate what VDM is doing by involving Okafor's daughter in this. Most of us are aware of Chris's story because we all grew up around that axis. But VDM using his daughter because of Doris, he won't win. He didn't win against Fufeyin. He won't win this. Let court of public opinion win. Interesting. And finally, Ben Samuel says, countless blind followers will still refuse to accept that the man's own daughter is just one of his numerous victims. We've seen plenty of Nigerian pastors rotting in UK prisons for all sorts of heinous atrocities. Even the very people who brought religion to us are now having to learn from us. Team, very quickly, because I have to tell you, Doris Ogala has taken up so much of my time this week. Doris Ogala has stolen so much airtime for me. But I want to come from an intellectual angle. You know, this issue of pastors being, they should be the standard religiously, they should be the standard morally. And to find that constantly in Nigeria, our pastors are being exposed for all sorts of atrocities, not being family men, you know, stealing money, you know, allegations of sexual misconduct. What is the problem? And is religion truly the hope of the masses, Mr. Shomi? The opium of the masses? Well,
I hope this is not a case of things fall apart, the center cannot hold, you know. The falcons can no longer hear the falconers. Pastors and congregations, something is obviously very, very wrong with the way we are practicing religion today in our country. We need to go back and look at exactly what we're doing. Are we commercializing it? Are we sensationalizing it? Or are we focusing exactly on what the scriptures says? The moral burden on pastors is huge, so also the expectations from the congregation. They need to stay above immorality.
Many are called, but few are chosen, and that's just where I'll leave it. I wish them all the best. I wish Doris the best as well. If you say you're a true pastor, the judgment day you will know whether you are true or not.
Doris Ogala, you've exhausted Ria.
I think the investigation should be made properly, because if anyone can claim that that is my father, that is not my father, DNA, what happens to DNA test? And I think we should stop the culture of blaming religion or religions altogether, Christianity, Islam, or anything, for people's wrongdoing, misdoing. A whole lot of people can come on and say, I'm a pastor, and they have cult following, and they are doing nothing next to what Jesus Christ actually taught, or the religion actually teaches. So it is our own duty to research into religions and know that people are people, they are humans. They do not really represent what they profess. So let's try to separate.
And the thing is that the daughter, why didn't she come out to speak since? Why is she just speaking now? That's even another thing we should look at. Why just now?
I think it leaves us with the question, how do you separate the art from the artist?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on in the world of entertainment, Nigerian entertainer and content creator Kata Efe has been temporarily suspended from Twitch just days after becoming Africa's most followed streamer on the platform. This suspension comes shortly after a viral live stream featuring Afrobeat superstar Davido, which drew more than 83,000 concurrent viewers and pushed Kata Efe's channel past 405,000 followers. Now, visitors to his Twitch page now see a notice saying that his channel is temporarily unavailable due to a violation of Twitch's community guidelines or their terms of service. The platform has not disclosed the specific reason for banning his page, and it's sparking speculation amongst fans. Now, Twitch typically issues temporary bans for issues ranging from copyright claims to community rule breaches, but for now, followers are of course waiting to see when and how their favorite streamer Kata Efe will make his return. This really shows us the vulnerability of African content creators in the global world. Dami Billion says, building on all these social Very interesting. Dami Billion says, building on all these socials now like building houses on another person's land. Them fit come collect them any day. The Big Soul says, this Kata Efe stuff just made me realize how unfairly these platforms treat Nigerians. TikTok once wiped out accounts overnight with zero warning. I personally lost my 600K and 20K follower pages in one day. It starts to feel intentional because you rarely hear these things happening elsewhere. Now, team, there's no escaping this. You know, millions of young Nigerians have taken to the digital space to make a living and to make an earning for themselves. But it now seems that African content creators are vulnerable in the sense that they spend their time and their resources creating this content, but it's under review from global standards. So is their success really theirs? If at any point everything they've built can be wiped out, suspended from the digital space? What makes this even more alarming is that the streamer platform Twitch has not said the reason why they have suspended its page.
Yeah, well, but they're actually saying the internet breach of community rules. We also need to know that at times those who own those platforms could also be vulnerable in the sense that the issue of Davido, the streaming of Davido video was done. Did he have the authority or did he obtain the permission of Davido to do that? And did somebody complain to Twitch before taking action? So we don't know. The whole story is yet to be out. So we should not just simply conclude that they're after Nigerians.
The story is still very sketchy. You know, sometimes maybe the views were a whole lot that they thought that he was violating the guidelines or it was not real views or all of that. But I was really happy for Kata Efe because he's someone that has been pushing a lot, and to see that he finally got the video to join. Remember, he did something for Wizkid, which Wizkid never paid attention to him. But, you know, just seeing the video come to him just said that when you have a dream, anything can happen. I pray that it's temporary. I hope that he gets it back. Yeah,
I also pray as well. But I believe that, social media giants like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. I do not know why they don't get to pay Nigerians what is due, because you see people earning much more using UK, US accounts than using the Nigerian account. It's so sad. So the government needs to really get something. We need to do something, protect our content creators so that they treat us like the global citizens that we are.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's time we start creating our own digital spaces. Thank you so much for your input.